If we ask a 10-year-old child if anybody is suffering from cold, what needs to be done, they probably have the answer to that. If we ask them if there is a cut, then they'll definitely advocate saying it needs to be cleaned and then the ointment to be applied and it has to be bandaged. If there is a fracture, they definitely again have the answer and they come up with a prompt reply. We have to have a cast so that it can mend the fractured bone. Wonderful. Now the second question, if you ask them, why do we need to do this? The prompt comes the reply, because that will help to heal it faster. And what if it's not treated? Then probably cold can be converted to pneumonia, or the cut might get very badly infected and the fractured bone would not allow anyone to walk properly. Now these are certain things which we have taught our children in their very younger age, and they have learned their lessons so well. But my question is, we pay a lot of attention to something called as physical injury. How is it that we have, if we ask an adult, like, what is to be done if there is this bitterness of failure, or if there is this pinching pain of being all by one's own self, or what or how to handle if there is a loss or a trauma. And probably all these questions, either they'll be ignored or they will not be given that significance to be answered. Or if you ask them if at all there is some nagging guilt within somebody, or there is intrusive ruminations someone is going through, so how to handle that? Majority of the people will either give it a very sheepish kind of a look, or shrug off from their shoulders to answer, or even, change the subject. Now, why this neglected behavior towards the psychological pain, which can be termed as emotional injury? And why is it that we do not look into it? Just because we do not have the proper tools to deal with these emotional injuries, we tend to have this neglected attitude towards our own psychological pains. It is much better to meet the emotional or rather the mental health professionals to deal with these kind of issues. But somewhere down the line, the society has conditioned in such a way that we feel that these are not to be taught to anyone. Nobody should get to know that I am visiting the mental health professional, or I need some help to treat my psychological pains. That's the attitude within the society. And anyone who does that, the society starts terming it as mental. Amazing. Mental in itself is a literal word in order to refer to the intelligence of the individual. But somewhere this has again very badly distorted and is used to show that this person needs a lot of guidance or advice, or is not capable of as the normal people would be capable of doing intellectually. Now, with a small symptom of cough and cold, we do not rush to the doctor for the treatment, and we do not, pitch our tent outside the clinic with one symptom. We just give it a little time, and then when we feel that this is not good to not visit the doctor, we definitely reach out over there. The same is to be done with the mental health practitioners to be visited. Like, if you find there is some issue with you and you are unable to cope up with it, then you definitely have to visit them without worrying what others will talk about you or say about you, or are they going to, speak ill of you if you're going to visit the mental health professionals or the therapist for that matter of fact. Now, we do not have the tool, and that leads us to just be complacent and be within our own shell and not to talk about it. And pushing all these issues under the carpet is not a good act to be done. We must know there has to be some purposeful act in order to recover from this, and we must try out all the ways to do that. Now, how do we do that? See, if you visit any home, you'll find there is a small medical kit, first aid kit, which people have for treating their, physical pain or injuries and things like that. Now, my second question, do we have emotional toolkit, or do we have emotional first aid kit at our place? We probably miss that in our home. So let's talk about what are those items which needs to be there within the emotional toolkit. It's a good food for thought for all of you. You all can add your own tools. What I feel important are some of these, which is believe in yourself. That's one of the most important thing which we need. Do not trust what people talk about you or say about you or feel about you. You are not waiting for their approval. You have huge, immense power within you. Believe in that power and work towards the goals in your life with some purpose attached to it. 2. Do not compare yourself with anyone. Comparing does no good. I do not have this, I have not achieved that, my friend has achieved this much. Please stop comparing yourself. We are all on our own individual journeys, and we do not need ourselves to be compared. The only person you need to compare is the person you see in the mirror, and that's it. That will give you, the strength to compete with your own self. 3 is find a purpose in life. 4, give yourself time. 5, communicate and express whatever you're feeling. Do not hesitate to talk to people about what you're feeling. I'm sad, I'm hurt. Use the I messages in order to convey what you're feeling. Now, when you do that, you're not hurting people. You're not appearing to be a person who is feeling offended or who is defending his own self, but rather it will bring the other people to understand the clarity of your thoughts and what you're undergoing, and you might get some solution when you vent out your feelings. Stay connected with people. Just because you have not been in touch with people for long should not be the only hindrance for you not to make a call now. Initiate the conversation, talk to people. If you're feeling very alone, move out. If you do not have friends there, move out, move to the place where there is a big number of people. Just go there, be there, sit there, go to the park, sit there, watch the beauty of nature, and that will give you so much of strength. And this is how you can, recover slowly. Write a journal, write some poem if you're good into it. If you're good into drawing or painting, please do that. Do whatever you want to in order to come out of it. Now, these are the very, very essential tools which can help you relieve from all these things. We are human beings and we are very emotional by nature. And this is the only thing that, demarcates us from the animal. And so we need to understand that let's leverage upon the expression of emotion in a purposeful act so as to heal ourselves and heal others. So those who have these kind of people within their circle, please be with them, sit with them, talk to them, ask them how they are doing. All the technology is in favor of all these, and so we need to understand that you can just pick up your phone and call and ask about their whereabouts or ask about their well-being. Texting will not help. When we write a message, it's just a plain text, and we do not know how much person is with the one who is feeling so sad or hurt. Just pick up the phone and call. You'll feel good, they'll feel good. Whatever we have witnessed in the last few days, where we have seen it's very disappointing and it's very unfaithful to hear or to watch the news saying a very successful young man committed suicide. And in fact, he had everything what any young man would be desiring for in his life. He had name, fame, money, everything. So what was missing in his life was probably that one person to whom he could have comforted upon, and he would have expressed himself. And had he had that kind of cushion in his life, he would have not taken this huge step of putting an end to the life. Now we must understand our desires are soaring high, but then the desires cannot rule us. So if whatever it is difficult in life or challenging in life, if you have something which you are unable to achieve in terms of your desires, then you need to understand. Put an end to the desire that you have. Do not take the step of ending your life. So stop that desire, but do not put an end to your life. And that's what I can say. So from today onwards, please keep your emotional first aid kit ready and handy with you, so that you can treat yourself when time, if at all it's needed, and you can help others as well. So with this, thank you so much.